hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
And you're listening to episode 9 of the Press Play Podcast. I love that clip from the room. It's
yes,
so
I do too.
It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. And that is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about
one of the most
Room.
fascinating films ever made.
Dude, this movie that we're about to talk about is just a masterpiece of shit. It is amazing that this movie exists.
Like Brad said to Peter, you're the Spalding Gray of crap.
This is The Room. This is the Press Play Podcast. I'm Ian.
And I'm Seth.
So, oh my God, I just watched this movie last night, and I watched some more clips before we did this, and it is so awful. So, if you've not seen The Room, go watch it. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I say this before. If you haven't seen any of the movies that we talk about, go watch it. But this one in particular
Yes.
requires a watch. I would say watch it one time, but you can't. You can't just watch it once.
It's also hard. I've noticed this if you come up to people that have never seen this movie, and hey, you want to watch the worst movie ever made, and it's kind of hard to get people on that train.
Yeah, you gotta almost show them clips of it or other reviews on YouTube to get them to know what the hell they're doing, because I don't think I've ever actually sat down somebody and made them watch it without warning them first. Like, go on YouTube, find some clips, like, this movie is so bad, check this out. And then, they see like maybe 10 minutes of the movie, and they're like, okay, my interest is piqued. And that's how it always goes down. And when they're done watching it, they're like, they thank you for making them watch it, but also they're like, why did you do that to me?
Exactly. I remember I saw the review first, as most people I think have, and when after I saw the review, I was like, I have to watch this movie, so I found it.
Yep.
And then watched it all the way through and was mesmerized. Just every single piece of dialogue, every single frame, every single transition is just amateur and poor, and it's so great at the same time.
I know.
I can't explain it.
That's what's great, is that this movie, like, there was nothing professional about it at all.
Nothing works.
And everyone, well, a lot of people know about this movie, and they love it. This movie comes to cinemas, and the director and the stars come to see it, and people bring spoons, and they get autographs, and it's so great. Like, the director, producer, writer, and star, Tommy Wiseau, funded this movie himself.
And
because
to this day, no one knows exactly where this guy comes from,
where his money
comes from at all. They don't know. You don't know how old he is.
You don't know what nationality he is. What's that accent that he's using? He claims to be from New Orleans, but which we all know is a lie.
No,
it's ridiculous.
He can't be.
There's if you haven't seen the movie itself, there's a movie that you probably might have seen. It's called The Disaster Artist, with James and Dave Franco, where they play the two main characters, and it's all about the making of this movie. Like, it's so bad that one of the main stars, Greg Sestero, wrote a book about this movie and what it was like to be a part of it, and that book got made a movie. So that's just how big this movie actually is.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal how bad it is. Like, I can't say that enough. This movie is awful in every single way.
Every piece of filmmaking craft is butchered.
And it starts with Tommy Wiseau.
Yes, it does.
Who is
who I'm convinced was trying so hard to make the best movie ever that this is what happened.
Yeah, you know that he thought this was going to be like his Citizen Kane, and in a way it is, but it's the opposite. It's the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
Yes,
he thought he was out to make this masterpiece, and it did not go the way that he wanted when it premiered. He probably thought when he was writing it, like, this is gold, because it's such amateur writing that when you ask a 5-year-old to write a 2-minute play, like, that's the kind of dialogue that you expect a 4-year-old to write down.
The script writing is extremely sophomoric. You look at just how nobody talks like normal people.
No,
at all.
That's another, like, the conversations, or just when they're by themselves. It's like, no one talks like this. What you're saying, no, normal people would not actually say to one another.
Yeah, they wouldn't at all. And just the entire plot of this movie is just unrealistic. Let's see if I can try to explain what's happening in this thing. We meet Tommy Wiseau's main character, who's playing Johnny, who is the best guy ever, apparently.
Yeah, he is like the picture boyfriend.
Yes.
That's what he wants you to believe. And he writes himself that way pretty well. He brings his girlfriend flowers and all that nonsense.
But it's every bit of it's just cliche.
Uh-huh.
It's saccharine and just, oh my God, you get so annoyed with this guy. And I understand Lisa.
Oh, 100%.
His girlfriend, I do. But she is written as the worst human being ever.
On the planet. My God.
She is awful.
This... Like from the very like the first scene you see them in, she's fine, and then okay. So I want to point out that this movie wastes no time in getting into the sex.
No,
like they're on screen for 3 minutes, and there's already a set of tits
already.
I thought, wow, that was quick.
This is a bad Cinemax porn. Is what this is.
Absolutely.
That's exactly how it watches.
And realistically, there are 3 sex scenes within 20 minutes of this movie.
Yep. And 2 of them are the same footage.
Yeah. You have the second sex scene is between Mark or Johnny's best friend Mark sleeping with Johnny's now girlfriend Lisa, and in the third one, Johnny and Lisa get drunk and they reuse the same footage.
Because the
it's
actress
amazing.
was she didn't realize that she was actually going to be doing nude scenes, and she was so uncomfortable with it that she said she'd only do 1 sex scene. So when he wanted to throw another one in there with her, he had to reuse unused takes. Which is you see it again, and you're just like, oh my God, it's the same
We
scene.
just saw this.
Like literally just saw it.
So you've got Mark and Johnny, who are best friends, Lisa, who's kind of in the middle between them, and then basically what happens throughout the movie is Lisa keeps hooking up with Mark, and she wants to leave Johnny, and she's the worst. She goes about it the worst possible way by not telling anybody. And
except for her mother and her best friend.
And you've got these characters who were just kind of there. Like, you've got Danny.
Oh, hi, Danny.
Who lives apparently above them, but Johnny is paying for his rent because they tell you over and over again, even in dialogue, Johnny is like your father. We know, but you don't have to say it. Because she even says it in when Denny gets the drug dealer shows up, Chris K., which has nothing to do with the movie at all. So this drug dealer comes to the roof to see Denny and is like, where's my fucking money? And then they stop him and they take him to the police, and she's like, Denny, you know Johnny's like your father. Why did you have to say that? No one talks like this.
Because you're shown nothing in this film. You're told everything.
Yes, that is it.
You're not shown nothing. You're introduced to the main character's best friend without them two ever having screen time with each other first.
Yeah.
You're just told that Johnny's my best friend. Really? Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, all of a sudden, like, after the sex scene, the very first one, he shows up, gets her he buys her a new dress, they fuck, and then the very next scene, Lisa calls Mark to come over. He's in his car on a handheld home phone, by the way.
It's a little Panasonic.
He's sitting in his car going nowhere. He's like, I'm busy, I'll be over there tomorrow. And then she seduces him and they fuck. And he says in dialogue, he's like, Johnny's my best friend. I can't do this. Like, well, okay, fine, whatever.
It's almost like the movie starts like you're 15 or 20 minutes in already.
Yeah, pretty much. And so they bang, and then Lisa talks to her mother, who keeps showing up to have the same conversation.
Over and over. How many times do they have this conversation?
4 times.
4 or 5 times?
4 times. Like, the only time you see the mother until the end is when she shows up to talk to Lisa alone, and she says the same thing every single time. I don't love Johnny.
I'm in love with Mark. That's not right, Lisa. Johnny has a very secure position at the bank.
Yeah, and you work in
computers
or something. Like, that's all they tell you is like there's not a market for computers. So I'm like, when was this made? Yes, there is. So, okay, so there are a whole lot of plots in this story that go literally nowhere. One of them is with Denny and the Chris K. drug dealer character, because that scene is over.
That lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. So they get the gun away from the bad guy, and they're like, let's take him to the police. And like 90 seconds later, they show back up.
Yeah.
Where was the police station? What did you do?
I think
with
it might have been in the same damn building.
I don't even think that you could have gotten him down the stairs in the time you got back.
No, they're on the roof.
Yeah, they're on the roof of this building. And then another plot point that goes nowhere is the second time that Lisa's mom shows up. She starts talking about her brother who wants to take her house away from her. And then she says, I got the results back. I definitely have breast cancer.
And how does Lisa react? She doesn't.
She doesn't. She's like, don't worry, everything will be fine. And then we never
And then it's dropped completely.
Forever. Because the next time you see her, which is in the movie time, like a couple days later, not once is it brought up again. You would think that she's talking about her problems, like, I'm in love with Mark, not Johnny. I have cancer.
That's all anyone can ever talk about is Johnny.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about him.
He definitely wrote himself into this movie. I will say that. And
Yeah.
you have, so later on, about maybe 30 minutes into this movie, these other two characters show up that are apparently Lisa and Johnny's friends that just break into their apartment to fuck.
On their couch.
And it goes nowhere because they get caught by Lisa and her mother.
No, but we do get to watch them for about 2 minutes sharing chocolate with each other with their mouths.
Yeah,
It is the most disgusting thing ever.
And the guy in that scene has the biggest derp face I've ever seen. Oh, I'm just calling him derp face because I don't even know what his real name is.
Think of every, like, derpy 90s character from a sitcom.
Yes.
And they all rolled into one with this guy.
Whew. And that goes absolutely nowhere because they get caught. And even Lisa's mom is like, what are these characters doing in here? That's the exact quote. I don't know. That's like you're basically the audience asking that question. Who the hell are these people?
I think that was the actress actually reacting to it. And They just kept it in the
I thought we had a
movie.
scene to do. Who are these characters? I don't know. Because will they show up again? Yeah, but not really.
The boyfriend character shows up one more time in the alley when they're throwing the football around.
Yeah,
and all he does is recite the scene that he was just in. That's all he does. And it drives me insane how you can make a drinking game out of how many pointless scenes there are in this movie.
And you're absolutely right because the alleyway scene takes about 2 minutes of him already telling you what we saw. We know what happened. It was earlier in the film. Johnny wasn't there, but why do we have to sit here and listen to you tell us everything that you just did 10 minutes ago? We saw it, and it takes him 2 minutes to explain it.
I don't get it. And some people I've heard the argument that this guy probably made this film this bad on purpose, like he knew what he was doing. No one
absolutely
could
not.
do this, and you have to watch it to believe it.
If you read the book, which I did, that is absolutely not true.
No, it's not. It can't be.
He thought that this movie was going to send him to superstardom, which in a way it did.
In a way it did, just not like he expected it.
Yeah, this was 100% bad on accident.
Because he's not famous, he's infamous.
Yes, absolutely. And oh my God, I'm trying to think of okay, so this movie has so many shots of absolutely nothing going on because maybe after the alleyway scene, we meet Johnny's friend Peter, who is a lawyer or some shit. I don't
guess.
know.
No, he's a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, yeah. And they basically sit around and talk about how did you and Lisa meet? And that story, like listening to Tommy talk is one thing, but listening to him explain how they met is boring. It adds nothing to the story.
Nope.
It goes absolutely nowhere, has nothing to do with anything at all other than they needed to fill screen time. He basically says like, I came to San Francisco, all I had was a suitcase and like a cashier's check I couldn't cash, and she worked at the bank and blah, blah, blah. Like, you are seriously doing this right now.
Oh, you doing Beta Breakers again this year? Oh, yeah, I'm doing Beta Breakers.
Which, Okay, unless you live in San Francisco, you don't know what that is. So they're just talking for no reason. Are you running Beta Breakers this year? It's apparently a marathon, which I didn't know. I had to look up, and I live in Sacramento. That's like an hour and a half away. I didn't know that. So why are you throwing this crap in there like that? And then, Mark, to add more useless dialogue, they're talking about, oh yeah, so I just got this new place, so I'm pretty excited about it. Like, they weren't talking about that. They were talking about Lisa just now. I got this new place. Shut up. Nobody asked.
He's trying to change the subject.
Which is one. Okay, and then we get... Okay, so, backtrack. The second time that Lisa is with her mother, she drops a bomb on Lisa's mom and says, he didn't get his promotion, he got drunk last night, and he hit me. Which did not happen, because we saw that scene, because they got drunk off of vodka and wine. And they get drunk together. They doink. And then she comes over the next day. Right after she says she's got breast cancer, by the way.
Yeah.
He's like, he didn't get his promotion. He got drunk last night, and he hit me. Johnny doesn't drink, is what the mom says. Which, who talks like that?
No one does. The first thing that anyone would react to is, oh my God, how did he do that? Why did he do that? He's never done that before.
Yeah. But that's not, like I said, that's not how people talk. So you say somebody hits you, are you serious? When? Where? Let's get him. Blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that. You react. But she reacted to, Johnny doesn't drink.
Yeah, she deduced a lie. The wrong lie.
Very wrong.
And I'm in awe of the storytelling in this film.
It's so god awful, because later on, I'm trying to think. Okay, so Lisa and Mark, they fool around maybe 3 or 4 times in this movie.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
And at one point,
oh my God, every time, what's going on here? What are you doing? She wants to fucking sleep with you, dude. I don't know. Why do you, every single time they get together, he's like, what's happening here?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? She just took her shirt off. What do you think she's doing?
That's what she does in the like the third time they hook up. She's sweeping, getting ready for this party. Her friend leaves, and it's just her and Mark. And she puts the broom down, takes her shirt off. What are you doing? Are you... Bro.
You're having an affair with this woman.
How do you not know this?
But please continue.
Okay, so we get the infamous roof scene. Johnny finally finds out that Lisa accused or lied about him hitting her, and you get the worst piece of dialogue that's ever been put on film.
Yeah.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
And oh my God, no one can do it like this guy. It's almost hard to tell you exactly just how bad this performance is, because I think that's the worst part of the film.
It really is. And that piece of dialogue took him so many tries.
It did. It was something like 20, 30 takes.
And how bad were the others? That's the one they went with?
Yeah.
And then they start talking about...
and it's just because he said all the words in the right order.
Pretty much. And then they start talking about... Mark's like, do you think girls like to cheat like guys do? What makes you say that? Like, he's basically kind of giving it to him. He's like letting him know.
Yeah.
And then he's... Oh, my God. People in this movie that take bad news, they do not take it well. They take it horribly, horribly wrong, because... Like with the breast cancer thing, and now this, Mark is telling a story about, he's like, I don't know where I came up with this. I used to know a girl, she had like a dozen guys. One of them beat her up so bad, she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street. And what does Johnny do?
What a story, Mark. He laughs. And then they stop talking about it.
Not how people talk.
At all.
Oh, wow, was she okay? That's a perfectly legitimate answer, but what he said was, what a story, Mark. I'm so happy you're my best friend. We know you're best friends. Stop saying it.
Do you think girls cheat like guys do? I don't know. I don't have to worry about that because Lisa's loyal to me.
Again, not how people talk.
And the one scene in this movie that makes me like completely root against Johnny because he's so goddamn stupid is when Lisa and her mother are walking in during one of their many repeat conversations.
Yeah, I think it was the third one.
And he's on the spiral staircase in the room, and he
saw
hears
all of this.
He hears her tell her mother that she hates him and is sleeping with someone else. And what does he do?
He says,
gets
why
up-
would they say that about me?
Yeah, why would they say that? I'll show them, and then he sets up. You get to watch him set up an answering machine to record their incoming calls, so he can spy on her phone. And I am so flabbergasted at this decision. Why would you write someone like that? The first thing anyone would do was pop up from the staircase. Oh yeah, bitch, really?
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, but he thinks he's gonna catch her. Like, you just heard
You just
every
caught
word.
her.
Yeah, you caught her. Red-handed. Done. Finito.
Yeah, it should have. The end. Written and directed by Tommy Wiseau. Credits.
But he decides, I'm gonna be smart. Puts the cassette tape into the answering machine, and I'm thinking, what does he expect to get off of an answering machine? Like, how that tape is not gonna last very long.
No, but apparently it recorded everything they ever said because he plays it back at the end
After one phone conversation, which is like a couple days later. How long was that tape? Okay, so Peter basically comes up to the roof and he figures it out because Mark is being very standoffish. He's being very guilty.
Yeah.
And he catches him, almost throws him off the roof.
Yeah.
Which slow
He
the
tries
fuck down.
to kill him.
He tries. Okay, this is supposedly one of your best friends. And, well, I wouldn't know they're best friends because they don't say it 1,000 times.
No,
But
they don't.
Peter catches him, says, you need to come clean, and almost straight up murders him. For no reason other than you basically, you called yourself out.
and then he stops and
He's
it's like nothing
They're
happened.
like, oh, we're good now. We're good. Everything's fine.
So I understand you're angry, and so what?
No. All right. What else? Oh,
It's
God.
like everybody's on downers.
Jesus Christ. So we finally get to the whole movie is leading up to Johnny's birthday party. Mm-hmm. And it's a surprise party. Because they say
That
it,
she
like,
didn't want to throw.
she didn't want to throw the surprise party. Keep that in mind. So Johnny shows up to his party. All of his friends are there. Surprise! And then they all gather around Johnny, and Johnny looks at Lisa like, "Hey, babe, you invited all my friends. Good thinking."
Right in the door. That's the line that always makes me laugh out loud every single time I hear it.
Good thinking.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Who would have thought of that?
And then she sends everyone outside for fresh air, but hangs on to Mark so they can go make out on the couch at her boyfriend's or her future husband's surprise birthday party. Gee, I wonder what could go wrong.
And in walks a character we've never seen before. This is an hour and 10 minutes into this movie. A character we don't know walks into the room and he goes, "What's going on here?" Catches them mid-kiss. "Do you know what you're doing? You're going to destroy Johnny. He's very sensitive." Now, apparently, this is just what this has not been confirmed. This is just what I heard, that character was supposed to be Peter, but due to some scheduling issues, he had to back out of the movie, so they just didn't tell you who this person was.
Quote-unquote scheduling issues.
Yeah, he realized what movie he's in. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And then, okay, they're caught, busted, but does he go and tell Johnny?
Nope.
No. As soon as he's like, "You're going to destroy Johnny," he's very sensitive. Cut to outside with everyone else, and Johnny announces to everyone, "Hey, everyone, guess what? We're expecting." Time out. This is the part in the film I got a timeout. I'm like, wait, what are you talking about?
It's the first time you ever hear about it.
Yeah, because you don't show Lisa telling you.
Was that his idea of a twist?
Yeah. So they're expecting. Okay, you're expecting from the woman that you've already caught red-handed admitting to her mother that she's cheating on you with someone.
Not only cheating on you, hates you.
Hates you. and you say, "We're expecting with such joy." And then
everybody raise a glass.
And then Lisa's friend, the girlfriend, is sitting with her, and she's like, "Why did you tell him that?" And what was her excuse for doing that? "I just wanted to make things more fun." You are a garbage person.
Yeah, you are trash.
She is. I'll give Tommy this. She is written very bad.
She's written like supervillain though.
Yeah,
because she is just awful. She is the absolute worst.
She is the worst. And then the friend that caught them 5 minutes ago, he comes to the table and he's like, "I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like I'm sitting on a time bomb. This is gonna ruin our friendship, our whole crew." Oh, okay. I'm glad you had another piece of dialogue, I guess.
Yeah. Were you out of the country?
And then, and then that whole expecting thing never brought up again.
Ever.
No, because as soon as that conversation ends, they go right back inside where you see Lisa and Mark dancing together very, very closely.
In front of everyone.
Yeah. She's like putting her hand on the back of his head and whatnot. Like, are you so stupid?
Do you see what we mean when we say that people don't talk and act like this?
No.
It is so unrealistic. You're reminded you're watching a bad movie every time you blink. And then they get into a fight.
Yeah, Mark and Johnny get into a fight, and then they make up, and then we get...
And then Lisa slaps Mark for I don't know why. And
then they fight
again.
And then he basically admits it to Johnny. He's like, "Maybe if you take care of your woman, she wouldn't come to me." And then he kicks everybody out. And then what does Lisa do? Johnny's in the bathroom because he's upset. Like a person. Obviously. And then she's like, "Johnny, get out of here. Get out of there. Everybody's gone. In a few minutes, bitch."
My second favorite line of the movie.
And then she grabs the phone that is 5 feet from the bathroom door, calls Mark, and says all these gross sexual things, and then that's when he got her. He's like, "Oh, I heard that and now I'm going to play it back for you. Not that I just heard it, I'm going to play it back for you so you know that."
And in this phone conversation, you hear Mark, for the very first time ever, express his disdain for Johnny.
Yeah.
I don't even like him anymore. And so on. Since when,
I want my hands all over you, baby. I'm like, really? Because every time that she tried to put the moves on, you're like, "What's going on, huh?" So he catches her, kicks her out, throws a hissy fit, which is an equal to a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And then
humps her dress on the floor.
Gross. And then...
Yeah, you heard that right. He humps her dress on the floor. And I think orgasms. I'm not quite sure.
Dude, I can't tell with his acting, but he probably did. And then he gets a gun and shoots himself. And then
they... Oh, my God. Then they find him, and then is he dead?
Is he dead? Yes.
There's blood everywhere, lady. There's a gun laying next to him. Yes, he's dead.
You probably heard the gunshot.
So they're hugging. Mark and Lisa are hugging each other and crying. And then she says the most awful shit ever. "I've lost him, but I still have you, right?
We can be together now."
They just found him dead. We can be together now.
They're over him. They're still huddled over him. We can be together now. You are the worst. Oh my God, woman.
You just push her away, though, which was kind of awesome.
You'll never have me. Sure. Well, maybe if there was 10 more minutes in this movie, she probably would have.
Yeah.
But and then you hear sirens in the end of the movie. Oh my God.
They never did give the score to the football game they were playing either.
That is true. Yeah. Another thing in this movie. Yeah, they play football a lot, but they don't actually play anything. They just throw the ball around.
Underhand, mostly.
Just to give them something to do. Like, they're not even talking. Let's go outside and play football.
Because he doesn't understand how to block a scene and to set up a scene or a set to make it look like you're doing. It's baffling.
So in this movie, Lisa and Johnny are engaged to be married. So you have the scene where everyone shows up in their tuxes because I guess the wedding was the next day. I don't know why you're having them now.
It was someone else's wedding. It was. I don't even know whose it was.
I don't think it was anybody's because Peter is just sitting on the chair Like, they didn't come from anywhere. They were just trying them on, I believe. And then they just go outside to play football. No dialogue is spoken, and then they just come back inside.
Mm-hmm.
It goes nowhere. It means nothing. It is pointless. And then
it's like everything else in this movie.
The scene transitions in this movie are some of the stupidest things you could have possibly done.
Did they actually shoot those transitions, those landscapes of San Francisco, or was that stock footage?
It looks like stock footage.
Because he's in some of them.
Yeah, some of them.
So
but those are only the ones at the beginning, though.
And those are the only shots in the movie that are worth a damn.
Yeah, because it sets up where you are.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is like anytime.
Those shots look fine.
In the birthday party, they're at the party. Transition scene shows San Francisco at night, only to go back to the same party they were at, still indoors. It makes no sense. It was a stupid decision.
It's everything in this movie is a bad decision. Making it was a bad decision. I'm so glad they did, though.
I am so happy that they did. But yeah, there are just, and his acting. We haven't talked about it that much. We're just trying to get through the stupid stuff. But his acting is, oh my God, atrocious. From the very first line of dialogue in this movie. Hi, babe. I have something for you. Crap. We're gonna have to see an hour and a half of this guy, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And some of his lines are they're dubbed over by himself.
The entire flower shop scene is 45 seconds long?
Not even.
And this guy walks in. She says, "Hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. I'd like a dozen roses, please. Oh, hi, doggy. You're my favorite customer. Thank you. Okay, bye. Okay, hold on. Time out. Why is it okay? So this guy goes in there so much to buy this woman flowers.
I understand. I understand he wants to be. He's writing himself as Johnny Good Guy, but you didn't have to show him getting flowers. Just him showing up with flowers. The whole flower shop scene is like 30 seconds. It goes like this: "Can I have a dozen red roses, please? Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you. Why did she say that?" People don't talk like that. No one talks like that. No one. I have never had anyone say that to me in my life.
And when she says, "You're my favorite customer," I've worked in retail for over a decade. I've never said that to anyone, ever. I've never heard anyone say that to a customer, ever. Not that, no, that doesn't happen. People don't talk like this.
Sure, people have favorite customers. Like if you work in a restaurant, you have favorite customers, but you don't say it.
Out loud in front of everyone. Oh, man. And
okay, last one. I've said it a lot. This is not how people talk. So, you have, about the middle of this movie, Mark and Johnny are in a coffee shop.
Oh,
for no reason. It goes nowhere. The plot is not discussed at all. Nothing to do with the plot happens in this scene. But they're talking about, Johnny says, "We got a new client at the bank." And Mark is like, "Who is it?" "I cannot tell you. It's confidential. We'll get a lot of money. We got this new client. Everything will be good." "Well, who is it?" "Come on. I cannot tell you. It's confidential. Anyway, how's your sex life?" That is exactly how that goes. "I cannot tell you. It's confidential. Anyway, how's your sex life?"
That isn't?
And he's like, "I can't tell you." "Oh, come on. Why not?" "Because you don't ask like that. No one talks like that. You fucking alien man."
Oh my God, this guy. Oh. It's so hard to describe his performance. You have to do an impression of it.
Yes.
But no one's impression I've ever heard does it justice. I don't even think that Franco's did. Because watching him on screen is surreal. It's like an out-of-body experience. Just watching him, listening to him talk, he doesn't know how to emote at all. He looks like he's every time when he like leans his head back and like bites his bottom lip and rolls his eyes to the back of his head. He does that a lot in this movie. I don't know what he's trying to convey, which emotion he's trying to convey, but he can't do it. And it's so fascinating to watch. I can only imagine what it was like to work with this guy on set.
read the book.
Oh, I have.
Because it's all there.
It's there, but you can't fathom it. They built a set that looked exactly like the alleyway outside.
Yeah, you're right. They have some scenes in the alley, and they even say there's an alley right outside the warehouse they're shooting at. He's like, no, it has to be movie magic.
Yeah, it's a real Hollywood movie. It's like, dude, and this movie was made for like $7 million, which
out of his own pocket.
Out of his own pocket, which in movie terms, that's like if you built a house for around $15,000. That's how little money that is when you're making a movie. Mm-hmm. And
a lot of horror movies back in the day were made with about that budget, and like some of the Friday the 13th movies were made on that budget.
Yeah, but those people were creative.
Yeah, because they also spent a lot of the money not on actors but on special effects. I don't know what this movie was spent on, except for some reason he bought 2 separate cameras to film this movie. One high def and one regular. I don't know why.
I don't know why he did that either. It's not like high def footage can't be downscaled in post, but he wouldn't know that. And he also had to change out his entire crew halfway through the making of this movie because they all quit. They couldn't take it anymore.
Apparently he's kind of a prima donna.
Yeah, apparently. Well, when you keep saying that this piece of shit that you're trying to make is the best thing ever, and that no one understands your vision, I would kind of get tired of that too. When he's so out of touch with reality.
It's amazing how much of a pain in the ass this movie was to make, and the fact that it exists is a miracle.
It is a miracle.
Not one of those good miracles like walking on water. One of those like what the fuck miracles.
But yeah, if you've never seen it, you have to check it out. It is worth purchasing.
Here's the thing. We did nothing but bash this movie for 35 minutes. I still own this movie on Blu-ray.
Me too.
I own Tommy Wiseau underwear because he makes his own underwear, and I own a pair of them, and I also have an autographed picture of the man because I love this movie to death.
It's such a strange feeling. I don't have this feeling for another movie. The set of emotions.
Probably the closest would be like a Neil Breen film.
Like a Neil Breen film, but those are a lot harder to get through.
Yes.
The
because
room
they
is
are least,
so incompetent. It's
yeah. The room is at least really fun to watch.
Yeah.
For how bad it is.
It's watchable.
Yes.
There's a lot of really bad films out there that I go down the rabbit hole of that. I watch, bad films on purpose because they're fun to pick apart, and they're so funny most of the time.
Yeah, like I'll watch Street Fighter and I'll have a great time watching it because it's so bad.
Yeah.
But this is like this takes it to Jedi level.
It is. It's honestly something I don't think it ever be duplicated. This is lightning in a bottle.
Yes. There are bad movies out there that are just god awful and nobody will watch them. But this one's so bad that everyone wants to watch this. Like there's this movie about a killer tire that just a killer tire just roams around the desert following people and kills them. It's the worst piece of cinema I've ever seen. But this is special because it's magic. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. It's
I honestly say the key ingredient here is Tommy Wiseau.
I agree. I don't think if anyone else was in that role, I don't know if this movie would be what it is.
No, because you want to hear more of how badly he's going to say his next line.
Yeah.
It's so awful.
And most of the movie's dubbed in post because
you can't understand him.
You can't understand him. And they also didn't. They had problems with the mics, and they just had all kinds of problems making this movie. I'm surprised it ever got edited together. But no, that's another. The editing in this movie is so bad. You can sit there and watch it and kind of re-edit it in your mind and put different scenes in different places.
Get rid of scenes.
Get rid of some scenes. You could cut this movie down to about an hour, and it'd be a nice little short film.
Yeah.
If you were to re-edit it and recast it.
Because there's, you could take out maybe 2 of the Lisa Mother scenes, because you don't need those, because they say the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Mark, not Johnny. It's not right. Skip it.
Exactly. Skip it.
You could skip them playing football and not talking to each other. You could definitely cut out the 10-second long transition scenes.
Yeah. I think the editing decision that hurt this movie the most is keeping Johnny and Mark apart during the first act of this movie.
You know what you could have done? There's a scene before the party where it's just Mark and Johnny in a field playing football. Take that out, put it at the beginning.
That's your credit scene.
Yeah, just show them doing that. They're playing football. They're jogging together. They're just laughing. They don't speak. That's your opening. That's where your credits go. That's how you know that these people are best friends. But no, they just have to tell you.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah, they just have to tell you. Johnny's my best friend.
Yeah, it's like this thing was put together out of order. There's I don't know. You have to watch this movie if you've never seen it, and if you have seen it, you know exactly what we're talking about, and you're laughing right along with us.
Mm-hmm. And you're probably gonna go watch it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else I have to say about this movie.
Oh, me either. Just yeah, it's so bad it's great.
You know what? We don't know what we're doing next week.
We don't. We actually don't.
Well, let's think. Because we've got the time.
Yeah.
The bar's not open yet.
It's not.
Let's think. What could we do? What do I own? Let's just go through that.
How about Predator?
We could probably do Predator. Let me open up my Movie Pro app and see what DVDs
It
I
is
own.
October.
It is October.
Spooky.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Me either. Predator's about as horror as I get, so.
Not because you're scared or anything.
No. I'm not a big fan of horror films. I never have been.
Oh, here's one we can do. Demolition Man. Let's think. We could do Doom. No thanks. We could do Face Off.
Wow. I don't own Face Off.
Okay. Galaxy Quest.
Don't own that either.
I do own these movies. You can have them. I do. What was it? What did you say?
Predator.
I do own Predator. Let's do that.
All right, let's do Predator.
Okay, you heard that live. We figured it out. All right, this was Press Play, episode 9. Oh my God, that was fun.
Oh, Tommy, get out of my head.
Okay. Look, we got to get out of here. I'm Ian.